Feeling so light, hearing the angelic sounds of our ancestors singing through the night for the supernova body. Listen to the realms of beyond, sacred wisdom healing my mind. Chakras align when I listen to supernova day. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe, expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Tune into the supernova body so you can raise your vibration. Don't be afraid to make changes and create a new you. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe, expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Supernova body, a cosmic party, new way of life, it's a supernova body.
Hello! Hello, and welcome to Supernova Body Podcast Season 2, Episode 15. Yes, really, 15. Amazing. I'm gonna start that over. I'ma start that over. I'ma start it over now. Alright, so welcome to Supernova Body Podcast. I am your host, Simone Michelle, and this is episode 15, season 2, Supernova Body Podcast. And today we're talking about community, and how it is the how it is the bridge to success. Yes, that is how I want to say it. I was going to say it different, whatever. The bridge to success, okay? And community is not always about geography. It's definitely beyond that. But how do we have community, and why is it so vital to our life, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? And let's get right into it because I kind of already started, so there's that. So community is not just about where you are. You can be of a community just by the color of your skin. You could be of a community just by your nationality, ethnicity, does not matter. You are a part of that community, and you can experience that community regardless of where you are. So another great way is social media allows us to be a part of many different communities. We can be a part of different groups, different social clubs, different whatever, all on social media, which allows us to be part of that community. And that is still helpful. Sometimes we can't have the physical in-your-face community, but we still can have a different form, right? As long as you have shared interest, that is the common kind of binding factor. Values, beliefs, shared experiences. Your community could also be your chosen family, right? People who you're not necessarily biologically connected to, but mean more to you than anything, right? Sorry, nose itchy. Mean more to you than anything. All right. Why is a community indispensable to your success? Well, support, encouragement. We are in need of it. I think that The concept of not forsaking the assembly is because we need to engage with other people. And if we really look at other people as being connected to us and a part of ourselves, we realize that we need to be a part of ourselves. Like we need to be in tune with ourselves. And in order to do that, we need to be in tune with other people, be connected to other people. Um, and in exchange for that connection, we receive, right? We're able to both give and receive. And that can look like support, it could look like emotional um, resilience, people pulling out the affirming qualities about you and identifying them and helping you. It could look like people that cheer you on, hold you accountable, right? Like, yeah, no, get it together. Um, it could look like collaborating together and sharing resources with one another. It could look like um, sharing a wealth of wisdom that will, help you on your journey forward in life. Shared in another podcast episode about having mentors and different people within your community that can help guide you in your career, right? Help guide you along your career path and give you that secret, sacred wisdom that only they have, right? Through blood, sweat, and tears, so that you don't have to fall into those same pit holes and pitfalls and be able to, take a shortcut. Nepotism ain't a sin, all right? So um, you're not always born in it to it, you're not always born into whatever community or group, but you can definitely get an invitation, okay? And you can enlist the help of other people. Caveat. I understand that life happens and we can not be very trusting of people. It's okay to vet your community, right? It's okay to be a little leery. It's okay to have those trust issues, right? As long as they benefit and support you, right? Um, but if you're getting to a place where you recognize that these trust issues are keeping you away from relationships that could further your life, enhance your experience or being, even your children's life or being, or whoever's life or being, it is okay to begin to set those down and replace those for healthy boundaries that allow you to remain safe, right? And still be able to engage in interactions in community settings. It could be virtual at first, right? So you can get your bearings and learn how to engage others and have disagreements in spaces where you're in community, and foster reconciliation and forward growth and movement at a distance until you're safe and comfortable with the notion or idea of doing it in somebody's face in a community setting. Because let me tell you, there are so many benefits of being in community, but there are also painful situations that can happen while you're in community as well. So it goes both ways. But as you learn how to set your boundaries, as you learn to be resilient, as you learn to communicate your expectations and what is okay and what is not for you, as you set your core values and align with other people that share those core values, you begin to make it through disagreements and situations that um, are not always going to align with your highest self. Okay, all right, cool. Um, oh, another amazing benefit of community is new perspectives and innovation to ideas that, oh my gosh, let me tell you, I'm gonna use an example of being at Howard, because who doesn't love Howard? You. I do. Okay. So I had my last group project, okay, like my last one of my entire experience. um I met someone that, when I tell you, they turned a PowerPoint into an amazing experience, it was like, how did you do that? You made this from scratch. They took my concept and idea that I had and made it phenomenal. Okay. When you are in community and engaging with other people, there's somebody that can take what you can do and expand upon that and make it so much better and make it so much more amazing. Not to take away from your expertise or your brilliance, but to add and give to. And it's all in how you look at it. It could have been whatever, but it was a positive experience for me that showed me what being in community could do. I am all for you taking something that I did and making it 100% better. Okay, improve on my design. All right, improve upon it. It's there. It's put out into the universe, and however you choose to use my creative expression to benefit your life is how you use it, right? Um, yes, absolutely 100%. Community can uh, give to you so much, right? And we have to be careful of the communities that we connect to. But it's meant to be a supportive force, a structure, a foundation, right? It takes a village, and for sure it does. And what that phrase means in its entirety is so much more than it just takes a couple people to help you raise your kids. No, it takes a village to really, really, really be able to invest into a child all that there is, right? It's not all going to come from you as a parent. It comes from everyone, but we as parents have to be very selective, right? Of who we allow in our community around our children. But even with the community of self, like when we have, oh, which is a good book. It is a good book. The Community of Self by Dr. Naeem Akbar. Okay, get into it. Get into it. It is great. I should have put it here in my book place, but I think it is in my room. Yes, because I read it. It is a good book. It is a good one. It is a good one. You can also listen to it too. It's on Audible, and I believe YouTube too. Yeah, so get into that. Yes. So also, there are so many ways that you can be challenged within communities, and it can challenge your thought processes. It can challenge you to release notions and ideas that no longer serve you. Right? You don't have to become a sheep or be brainwashed by everyone in an environment, but you definitely can eat the meat and spit the bones and take what resonates and leave everything else. Right? You have the ability to have a sense of belonging and well-being, right? That is a core need that we all have, is to have a sense of belonging, to know that we belong to something, someone, that we have a place that we exist. We have a home, right? There is somewhere where we belong, somewhere that is for us, where people understand our thought process and belief system. And there are so many different kind of communities that you could be a part of. If you are into certain sexual proclivities, there are groups for you, right? There's a community for everybody, right? And so it's important that we have that sense of belonging. Community can give that to us. Also, visibility and opportunity. So being able to network, being a part of Howard's community. I keep using Howard because it's on the forefront of my mind. Being able to connect in those spaces, and even as like a social worker, being able to go to different conferences and meetings and meet different people, and be connected with just opportunity or that opportunity or whatever, just by being a part of a certain community, allows you to utilize those blessings, because we don't have to get it out the mud. Okay, there have been enough people that have gotten muddy that we can stand on the shore and be like, cool, I'll take that. Thank you so much for doing the work for me. I'm so respectful, full of gratitude and reverence, and I'm going to make sure that somebody else doesn't have to get it off the curb, right? Um, and we keep moving forward in that way. We don't all have to struggle. We don't all have to have a negative experience. We can learn from others in community. We can make sure that we're having positive experiences with people in community, and using the knowledge that exists just by being in proximity to someone else, right? Um, you can also have growth and personal development within that space. Again, mentorship, networking, all of these different things that happen within community. If you're in a mental health community group where you guys exchange resources, different groups will allow you to better your life and move forward and have advancement, and understand yourself at a different level, right? You begin to change and grow by your environment. And so surrounding yourself in positive communities can enhance your life for the better. Okay. Um, yeah. So the first step in identifying what kind of groups you need to be part of or community spaces that would be beneficial to you starts with your core values, right? Starts with your boundaries, understanding who you are. Again, Know Thyself. Naeem Akbar. It's a really good book to kind of help you on that journey to understand the fullness of you, right? Who came before you, who's coming after you, and where you fall in the middle. And once you identify who you are and who your values, what your values are, and your boundaries, then you could go out and put fillers out. Like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This Facebook, I know it's old, and people, it's still groups. There are still functional groups that operate within that space. Um, there are so many different social media outlets and different um, people out here that have created spaces to thrive within. I myself was one of them. So feel free to join our community and be in a safe space for connectedness. Okay. Um, be a contributor, not just a consumer. So go at your pace, is what I'll say. I know that when I'm going to use this story because it resonates for me. When I was heavily into ministry, because at one point in time, yes, I was absolutely 100% in ministry and ministering. And I would recognize that I didn't have the capacity always to contribute at the level of everyone else, right? Um, so sometimes in ministry, when you're programmed and taught that you are to do everything, absolutely everything until your knuckles, knees, and toes is bloody. You sometimes don't have the capacity to do that all the time. And that's okay. So contribute until, up to your level, right? And don't go above that when you're ready. So sometimes just joining a space, you're trying to just get an idea of what this community is like, um, what the experience will be by being a part of this. And so you just take a step back and observe until you're ready and comfortable to contribute. So it's not to say like join a community and immediately take a position or offer services or volunteer. Like, nah, relax. It's okay to just observe until you feel like this is a safe space for you to participate. All right. Be intentional. Identify the needs that you have for that community, what kind of support you want. Be open to your space or community being diverse. Not everybody has to be exactly like you, because in our differences can we uh, experience growth and have a positive experience that we never knew was imaginable because we didn't think it, because our brain or mind didn't work that way, but theirs does. So there's beauty in that. Be consistent and show up consistently and authentically as yourself, for real. Be who you are and not who the space may call you to be. Just be you, 100% you. In your limited capacity, you. In your open, large, amazing capacity, you. Just be 100% who you are. Define them boundaries prior to you're going into this communal space, but maintain and sustain and uplift those boundaries. Um, because we want to avoid what it looks like when we are not um, operating in community. Isolation can lead to um, a lot of sorrow, but so can being in the wrong environments, right? So we have to choose and be mindful of that, and be aware that most of our growth happens in the presence of others. There are ways that we can be challenged only in the presence of other people. There are experiences that we will only have in the presence of other people. And all of those things are necessary for our growth, right? Um, I'll use this example of trauma, right? Um, Plants experience trauma when they are seedlings and they're pushing through the dirt and the soil. It is a hard process. It is very traumatic, and it is very different from being a seed, right? But it's a necessary trauma that has to happen in order for growth to occur and for a new experience to happen above ground, right? That pushing through the soil process has to happen and it's definitely beneficial for the seedling to not give up, right? And once it pushes through, now it has a totally different world where there's no more darkness. It's sunny, and now they have to do totally different things with their body. Before, they were just using their roots to kind of get energy to push, and now they're out. And so now they have these leads or fillers or whatever. These leaves are gathering energy from the sun, and now they are doing something totally different. But that process of growth was traumatic and transformational, but it was needed, right? So those interactions that we have with people can sometimes be abrasive but are needed, can sometimes not look ideal but are needed, can sometimes be really fluffy and cute and sweet but are needed for our growth. And yeah, um it's just, it's hard to live your best life and heal for real by yourself. um we can definitely take moments in time for isolation and really pour into ourselves and love ourselves, but it's in the interaction with other people that we learn and truly can heal those triggers, right? And truly can heal those spaces and places that, um when untouched, unobserved, untapped into, can kind of transform themselves, right? Um, so yeah, community is really important, like for real. And how you find your community, that part's not important. But if you need physical support, people in your face, day to day, all day long, all the time, then find it, seek it out. Make a list of what you need in a space and then find it. And if you need help finding that space, if you need help finding community, if you need help establishing your boundaries, your core values, whatever, go to supernovabody.com for real and schedule a consultation. Okay? Do it. I mean, it'll help you, or I'll find somebody that can. So, whatever works for you. Group therapy sessions, group talk spaces, life coaching, whatever you need, it's all there. And if it's not me, it'll be with somebody that works for you. But the help is out there and it's available. So don't let not being a part of community be a missed opportunity for you. Okay? Because community is everything that you make it to be, and it could be the difference between successful life and a life full of sorrow, right? We need other people. We are all connected. We are one, and we have to rely on one another. So find a community that works for you, and get into it. Lean into it. All right. Again, I'm so grateful that you're here. However you're choosing to listen, wherever you're choosing to listen, at whatever time you're choosing to listen. I'm so grateful, so appreciative, so thankful, and I love you. And bye.